Let me ask you something. Are you actively designing the life you want? Or are you just kind of living a life that's happening to you? You know, for most of us, we're just drifting. We let other people, other circumstances make the big decisions for us. And then we wake up one day and wonder why we feel so stuck. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down 5 clear, actionable steps to go from a life of default to a life of pure design.
And that quote really just says it all, doesn't it? That's the core of the whole problem. If you never consciously grab the steering wheel, you're going to look back one day and realize you accidentally traded your own dreams for somebody else's agenda. It's such a subtle trap, but it's one we can absolutely learn to see and avoid.
You know, to really get this is this famous little story. Picture this. A super ambitious businessman, MBA, suit, the whole deal. He's on vacation and he spots this local fisherman just chilling by his boat with a small catch. The businessman, he sees all this untapped potential and he immediately starts going off. Hey, you should be working longer hours, buying more boats, building a whole fleet, creating a giant corporation.
So the businessman keeps going. He's mapping out decades of just relentless, nonstop work. And then he says, all proud of himself, after all that, you'll finally be rich enough to retire. You can move to a quiet little coastal village. You can sleep in late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife.
And the fisherman just smiles and says, but that's exactly what I'm doing right now. The moral of this is just so powerful. You have to know what your version of happiness looks like. Otherwise, you're going to spend your entire life chasing a definition of success that was never even yours to begin with.
So, the big question is, how do we avoid the businessman's trap and start living more like the fisherman, but, on our own terms? Well, let's dive into this 5-step framework that's really going to guide you from just drifting along to consciously designing your own amazing path.
Okay, first things first. We have to get really honest about the mental roadblocks that stop us before we even get started. And you know the ones I'm talking about, right? Oh, I have too many responsibilities. I'm too deep in my career. Or the classic, it's too late for me.
But what you're seeing here is a powerful mental shift we can all make. It's all about turning what feels like an excuse into your reason. Your family isn't an excuse holding you back. They are the exact reason you have to build a life you're proud of to set that example. And this idea that you're too old, that's not a chain, that's a rocket. It means you have even less time to waste living a life that doesn't feel like your own. Every single obstacle can become your fuel.
And this brings us right to the foundational step, the bedrock of all of this, taking radical, 100% ownership. Look, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you your dream life on a silver platter. It is on you. And just accepting that, well, that's the first and most empowering step towards real change.
Psychologists actually have a name for this. They call it an internal locus of control. And the research on this is so clear. People who believe they are the architects of their own fate, they're consistently more successful, they're healthier, and they're just plain happier. The second you stop blaming your boss or the economy or your past, you literally reclaim all the power to change your future. It all boils down to this simple but incredibly profound piece of wisdom. If you have the ability to improve your life, and you do, then you have a responsibility to yourself to do so. This isn't about pressure. It's about recognizing your own power. The life you want isn't some lottery ticket. It's a series of decisions you start making every single day.
Okay, so you've taken ownership. Awesome. Now, where are we going? You can't design a life if you don't know what you want it to look and feel like. So this step is all about getting crystal clear on your vision and maybe even more importantly on your why.
And look, this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's actually backed by solid data. Studies show you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you simply write them down. So don't just think about your vision. Get a pen, get a piece of paper, and write it down. And don't be vague. I want you to paint a picture. What does your ideal day feel like? What are you doing? Who are you with? Make it so vivid you can almost taste it. Now let's talk about that why. Often, your most powerful purpose is actually hidden in your deepest pain. The struggles you've overcome, the challenges that almost broke you, those experiences have given you a unique kind of strength. That story can become your mission. It can become your way of helping other people navigate the very same path you once walked.
Okay, a vision is awesome, but a vision without action is, well, it's just a daydream. And taking action is incredibly difficult if you don't have the right support system. So this brings us to step 4, where we combine taking real action with shaping the environment around you.
So here's the hard truth, and it's a bit of a wake-up call.
A staggering 92% of people never actually achieve their goals. So, why? Well, the number one reason is a failure to take consistent action. People wait for the perfect plan or the perfect moment, which, let's be honest, never actually comes. The only guaranteed way to fail is to never start at all.
And your ability to take that action is so heavily influenced by your surroundings. The legendary speaker Jim Rohn famously said this, and it's profoundly true. Your social circle is either going to lift you up or it's going to drag you down. Your motivation just can't survive in a vacuum.
So take a second. Really think about this right now. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you? Do they challenge you in a good way? Do they believe in you? Or do they kind of reinforce your doubts and keep you comfortable? Building a winning environment is a conscious choice you have to make.
And if you need more proof, just look at how this plays out in the data. This chart is wild. It shows the raw power of that environment. One study found that just by telling a friend your goal, your chance of success jumps all the way up to 65%. But if you have regular accountability check-ins with someone, as you can see in that second bar, your success rate skyrockets to an unbelievable 95%. That right there is the power of a support system in action.
Okay, on to our final step. And honestly, this might be the most crucial piece of the entire puzzle. Designing your life isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a constant process of trying, learning, and adapting, which means you have to fundamentally change your relationship with failure.
This is the absolute core of what psychologists call a growth mindset. See, people with this belief don't see failure as some final verdict on their abilities. They see it as valuable data. It's not, I am a failure. It's, okay, that approach was a failure. Every single setback is just a lesson on your path to becoming who you're meant to be.
I mean, look at this real-world example. It took 5 full years of consistent work, making videos, experimenting, probably failing a ton, just to get to 2,000 subscribers. Now, most people would have quit long before that, but by staying in the game, by learning from every failure, the next 5 years saw that number explode to over 1 million. The foundation for that insane growth was built during those long, slow, grinding years.
And that really leads to this ultimate mindset, captured in this beautiful analogy. Your trust can't be in your perfect plan, because plans break, branches break. Your trust has to be in your own ability to adapt, to learn, and to keep going no matter what. Your trust has to be in your own wings.
So let's tie this all together. What's the game plan? First, you got to realize you are in the driver's seat. Second, get totally clear on your vision and your why. Third, take imperfect action. Just start moving before you feel ready. Fourth, intentionally build your support system. And finally, number 5, learn to embrace every single failure as a lesson. That is the path to a life by design.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final question. Forget the giant 5-year plan for just a moment. What is one small, tiny, imperfect step you can take in the next 24 hours? Is it sending that email? Writing down that vision? Making that call? The future version of you is watching, and you can make them really proud, starting today.